So I forgot to inform you that for the retting, you need to keep the leaves inside the water till the leaves turn mushy. It's like soft, gooey, and the green portion and everything, and all the other matter, they separate from the fiber. You can see the fiber, each strand, you can see it properly. So that is when you know that the retting process is done, and that is when you can wash the fiber out of the plant, and take it out of the bucket or anything in which you have kept it, and then you can dry the fiber and you can use it. You don't need to just dry and use it. There are many ways in which fibers can be used. The plant fibers can be used for making yarn. Some people, they dry the fiber first and then they use it. Some people, they use the fiber when it is wet or just a little bit wet, and some in a semi dry state. So semi dry is the most commonly used and most common among people who do basketry, and for making baskets and all. It is said that when the fibers are a bit on the wet side, it is much easier to handle the fiber and to shape the fiber in whatever shape they want for the baskets. Now I'm going to show you the process for the cattail. A cattail, as you know, or you may not know, it is the perfect source of food in the wild. The root of cattail can be used as food. It's a form of starch. So in case if you don't find anything in the wild, and if you see cattails, there is food around you. The cattail leaves can be used for making yarn, for making cordage, fishing line to catch fish. I'm a crocheter, so for me everything is yarn that can be used for crocheting. So I'm going to use it for crocheting. I know so many beautiful people who use it for making cordage, and for basket making, and for making different types of arts and crafts out of it. The cattail, there is another thing, the fruit. I forgot what it is called, the fruit of the cattail. I'm sorry, I'll have to check that out and I'll get back to you. Okay, so the cattail fruit, there's no name for that. And okay, so the cattail fruit is a stick, it looks like a hot dog. Okay, so that is also used as food, and the tender shoots of the plant is used as food, and the fruit, which I was talking about, which is called fruit. So when it dries, there's a fluffy inside that comes out, and that can be used as tinder, for as a fire starter, and it can be used for fluffing pillows, or because so soft, it's very soft, it's even softer than cotton. Okay, so you can use it for that. You can use it for making paper, the fibers, the separated fibers and all, if you're doing it by hand, not the fibers which are mushy and all, which has been retting in the water for many days. Not that fiber, sorry, not that fiber. The fiber which is fresh, you can use it for, you can take the leaves, chop it off in tiny pieces, put it in a mixie and take the fiber, make paper out of it. So here I'm making a cordage. Shanti se, I'm making a cordage, and there are many ways in which cordage can be done. So I'm using a couple of methods. First method, I'm taking the leaves and I'm going to I separated the leaves and each leaf, and then what I did was I made it into tiny, even tinier pieces, and I used the leaves fresh, the fresh leaves to make a cordage, and washed the cordage, and then I let it dry. The second method was in which again I used fresh leaves of the plant, And what I did was I scraped the leaves of the green, the vegetable matter, the green matter with a knife, and I formed a cordage while it was wet. Now I'm making another way. The third way will be once the leaves which are put into the water, that is wetted and the fibers are ready, and when the fibers are dry, I will be using the fibers to make the cordage out of that. So that is the third method. There is no right or wrong method. Everyone has their own preferences. So I prefer to use it all the ways. I prefer to make the cordage in all. I like to try. I like to try. I like to experiment with fibers so that I know by experience, my own experience, which one I like the best. And I've tried two ways, so I'm waiting for the third method till it dries up. So that's it for the time being. I'm going to add some more things because I don't want to forget anything. Okay, so I'm not sure if I added this, but eventually you'll have to dry the fibers. Whether you decide to make the cordage while the fibers are wet or semi-dry, you'll have to eventually come to a point where you will have to dry the entire yarn or cordage which you made out of it. Because if you keep it like that, if you just keep it wet, there are strong chances that it will catch mildew, or it will turn bad. The yarn will not turn out to be good. It will become bad eventually. So you will have to dry it out completely after the cordage is made or before the cordage is made. That's it.